Hi, let us see some quiz based on resultant vectors in a straight line, at right angles, and in a circular path. I think this question I have already explained. You can watch the video. If you want, I can explain once again. Here, consider only the horizontal forces. 60 minus 40, you get 20. So which will be on the right side. If you take the vertical forces, 120 minus 60, 120 is plus, 60 is minus, it is downwards. So you get 60. So you have one vertical force 60 with 60 kilonewton, one force horizontal force along the right side which is plus 20. So the resultant will be diagonally to the right. Yeah. So our option is B. A car moves along a level road. The diagram shows all of the horizontal forces acting on the car. Okay, now look, 2000 Newton force from the engine. So 2000 is to the right, so it is plus. Then the backward forces should be considered as negative because it is acting to the left. So plus minus 800 minus 500. Okay, so you have 2000 Newton minus 1300 Newton, which you have plus 700. So as long as you get the value plus, the car is speeding up. Yeah. Okay. The next question, it's very easy. 4 Newton to the right, 3 Newton to the left. What is the resultant force? So 4 minus 3, you have plus 1 Newton. Wherever you get the answer as positive, it is to the right. Okay, so here to the right, or if it is vertical forces, if you get plus, then it is to the top. Okay, so 1 Newton to the right. The next question, this also I have explained. Vertical forces acting on a ball as it falls freely, as it falls vertically through the air, the ball does not reach terminal velocity. So there is no constant. Terminal velocity means constant speed, so it has not reached. When there is constant speed, that means there are the air resistance and the weight are balanced. Okay, so here, which describes the resultant force and acceleration. Now look, the weight is more weight, less air resistance. Even though it is weight is more, less air resistance, still the overall force. Okay, before, if there was only weight, for example 50 Newton, then due to air resistance, even if this air resistance is 5 Newton, 50 minus 5 is going to decrease to 45 Newton. That means the overall resultant force, okay, the net force is going to decrease. So when the net force is decreasing, we know this formula, F equal to ma, acceleration also decreases. This I have already explained. Okay. Okay. The next one, very easy. Only they have mentioned only F1 and F2, so they are acting at right angles. So we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. So it's going to be F1 square plus F2 square. So option A is the right answer. Okay. The next one. An object is rising vertically at constant speed through water. There are three vertical forces acting on it: the weight W, the drag D, and the upward force. Which diagram shows the magnitude and direction of the vertical forces acting on the object? Okay, which is very important. Object is rising vertically at constant speed. So constant speed means forces are balanced. Okay, understand, balanced force. Balanced means what? You must have upward and downward force. Here the object is, you can see only vertical forces. So the upward force and the downward force must be balanced. Let us check A, 3 Newton, 3 Newton. This one wrong. Only 2 and 3 wrong. So which one is correct, A or D? Because D also shows 3 Newton, 3 Newton. Which one is correct? So here, if you see, the object is rising vertically. So definitely the upward force must be more. So A is wrong. This shows the downward force is greater, isn't it? So the upward force, the upthrust, okay, the upthrust must be more because the upward force is upthrust. So that must be more. Only that is making the object to rise up. So D is the right option. Okay. The next question, this also I have explained in a separate video. So vector diagram shows, so x and y are the vectors acting on an object. So if this is the object, x and y. So definitely your resultant must be like this. Okay, not like this or not like B, not like this one shown in C. It's D. You can also use law of triangular forces. So as per that law, if two vectors, okay, taken in a certain order, if you are taking clockwise direction, okay, like this and like this, the third vector represents like on the third side, but the direction will be in the anti-clockwise direction, like this. Okay, so you can also use triangle law of triangular forces. I think you study that in mathematics. So, or you can use like this one. Object is here, x and y, so the resultant should be going diagonally to the right. Or even if you take D also, the same object, the one shown x down, you can take it like this upwards. So y is acting in this direction, which means I have drawn the parallel forces. Okay, so y, instead of making it here, I have drawn that it is subjected to a force acting on the right direction. So the resultant will be diagonally to the right. Okay, the next question, this also very easy. So you apply Pythagoras theorem, square root of 4 square plus 3 square, you get square root of 25, which is 5 Newton, and the direction is along OY. Yes or no? Diagonally to the right. So it's option C is the right answer. Next question. A cyclist is traveling in a straight line along a horizontal road at constant speed. Wherever you see constant speed, balanced force. Force in the forward direction and the backward direction must be same. A constant driving force F acts on the cyclist in the forward direction. Which statement about the magnitude of the frictional forces acting on the cyclist is correct? Definitely the magnitude is equal to F is correct because he is moving with the, so that must be the frictional force Fr, because he is moving with a constant speed. Okay. Okay. Which moving object has a resultant force acting on it? Okay, the same question is repeated. This is based on circular path. Okay. Okay, wherever object is moving with a constant speed, you can see that the forces are balanced, except when the object is moving in a circular path. When it is moving in a circular path, even though it is moving with a constant speed, it has a resultant force. Okay, so this concept you keep in mind. So only in circular path, even though it is moving in a constant speed, the object will be having a resultant force. So option B is the right answer. The same question is repeated in 2020 also. So B is the right option here too. Okay. Then next one. Again, this one is based on the if an object is moving in a circular path, which direction will be the resultant force? So the direction of the resultant force will be always towards the center. This concept you can apply. The concept is the same. The question will be varying. So here, so if Earth is here and the satellite is orbiting Earth, so orbiting the Earth, so you can see the resultant will be towards the center of the Earth. This is the resultant force. And if the same question is asked, which direction will be the acceleration? Acceleration also towards the direction of the force. So it is also towards the center of the Earth. This is only for object moving in circular path. So here the resultant force of the satellite is towards the Earth. Option B is the right answer. Again, circular path is object moving in a circular path, so the resultant force will be towards the center, which is A. Same concept. Wherever you see circular path, the resultant force is towards the center. B here, D here. And if the question is asked which direction will be the acceleration, again B and D are the correct answer. Here they have asked resultant force. Resultant force F is equal to ma. Force and acceleration are in the same direction for object moving in a circular path. So similar question, sorry, same concept, but the questions are different. That's all. Again, for object moving in a circular bend, which direction? It will be perpendicular to the motion and towards the inside of the bin. Option C. Okay, perpendicular to the motion, because something moving in a circular path, because the direction of motion is in this way, the resultant force is this way, so they are perpendicular, they have 90 degree. So motion is in this direction and the resultant force is in this direction, and acceleration is also in this direction. It is not asked here. So for resultant force, it's towards the center, perpendicular to the direction of motion. Same goes for this question, as satellite orbits. All same concept, that's why I made it together. So again, for this also, the resultant force on the satellites is towards the Earth. Repeated question. Yeah. A car travels along a horizontal road at constant speed. Three horizontal forces act on the car. The diagram shows two of these forces. What is the size and the direction of the third horizontal force acting on the car? Okay, so you have 1500 and the backward force shown is 300. So the remaining is 1200. Okay, and 1200, which direction it must be? It must be acting backwards. Why backwards? Because it is given constant speed. So the forward force and the backward force should be balanced. Okay. This question also I have explained. First of all, consider the horizontal force. 9 Newton is to the right, so plus 1 Newton is to the left, so minus 1. The resultant is 8 Newton. So you have 8 Newton to the right, 6 Newton vertically to the top. Then the resultant is, use Pythagoras theorem. You find 36. 6 square is 36 plus 8 is 64, and square root of that will give you like 100. Square root of 100 is 10 Newton. So answer is B. The same question is repeated in February, March 2025 as well as in October 2020. Okay. The next one, the diagram shows a car moving along a road. The force due to the engine is 1500 and the total drag force is 200 Newton. So 1500 minus 200, you have 1300 plus. Wherever you get plus, the speed of the car is increasing. Okay, we cannot say constant speed because constant speed forces are balanced and the net force will be 0. So constant speed is wrong. Decreasing speed you will get only when the answer is in negative value. So that is also wrong. Increasing speed is correct. It's not reversing. So that is also wrong. Increasing speed is correct. Thank you. Please like and share and subscribe my channel.